What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of my Gran Turismo 02 Hero Racing series. Today we are driving the Greddy SEMA Datsun 240Z car that everyone decided to drive in this race, as you'll see very, very soon, on the Blue Moon Bay circuit or road raceway, something like that. I think it's a fake track. I think this is one of the few tracks that Gran Turismo makes just for the game itself. Anyways, as we watch my qualifying lap, I think I ended up getting a 123 something, which is about 3.5 seconds ish off the pace for my group. I always forget the name of it. Anyways, that's usually my pace, about 3 to 5 seconds off the fastest guys in my continent, or whatever. Anyways, on to the topic I wanted to talk about was about my Supra. Now, big thanks to my buddy Anthony, because without him, I probably would have done something real dumb and would have caused me not to be driving for at least a whole nother season. And that is, I was going to sell my Supra to buy an SC400 again. And that would have been a big mistake because the Supra already has no engine. It's a fresh chassis. It's got a little bit of rust, but not too much. I had to fix something on it that I'll make a video about it eventually when I put seats in, but that I'm going to keep a secret till then. But I was going to sell it and buy an SC400. A guy was selling one for an okay deal, but he had coilovers and wheels on it already, and I was going to tell him to keep it, and I was going to offer him a much cheaper price because I had my own coilovers and stuff. But I knew if I made an offer something like that, with my dumb luck, he would have taken it, and I would have had nowhere to put it, and I would have had to sell the Supra, which in realistic terms would have been a real dumb idea. And I think it's a better idea that I keep the Supra, because honestly, at this point, I should just really focus on getting seat time instead of trying to build like an ultimate race car for like time attack. So yeah, I think the best idea, or the best road course to, I can't even think of words right now. I have such bad memory of words. Anyways, I think the best idea right now is to just build a Supra, get it basically the way as reliable as I can, just to get seat time. And yeah, so that's gonna be the end of that topic. We're not gonna talk about SC400s or Lexuses anymore unless we race them. We're only going to talk about my Toyota Supra and how I'm going to put a 2J in it, and we're going to go get a lot of seat time this year. Anyways, so the beginning of the first race. We are here in starting fourth, and I really liked how funny it was me turning the wheel. Made the car turn a lot. That was hilarious. That's with the real tight suspension, you can do that. Anyways, we're going to start off in fourth place here, and we're going to get going. Now, to start off, this race was very difficult for a couple of reasons. A, people were very pushy and not patient. They loved slamming into you, and I guess a lot of them did not understand how brakes worked or how different they are in race pace instead of going for a qualifier when no one's around you, and when to actually brake to not murder anybody, because that was not an option. As you can see, the disaster that's going on in front of you right here. I started in fifth, but just because I didn't want to kill anybody, or I'm going to kill anybody, I wanted to get out of the way so I wouldn't get hit and then serve the penalty for absolutely no reason. That's a hindsight for the next video I'm making for Thursday or Friday, whenever that comes out, but you'll see that then. I didn't want to get killed, and as you can see, like 2 or 3 guys got penalties, and on this hairpin, buddy, this hairpin was the dive bomb city place. Like, everybody and their mom was like, this is where I'm gonna overtake everybody. And you can see even there, I don't know if it was because of the lag, but that guy like tried jumping in my face, and as I'm even coming through the final corner on like the outside, the guy pushes me right onto the grass and then eventually pushes me into the wall, which was just a disaster. Because with that being said, that kind of, I don't want to say my famous words are that ruined my race, but that kind of screwed me up pretty bad. But you'll see how much worse it gets after we fast forward just slightly into I think the third lap. We'll see. Hold on a second. Oh no, it's the second lap. Into the second lap. Never mind, I was wrong. It is the third lap. So as we come into the final corner, I'm getting a decent run. I don't hit the wall, and I get a decent run out of the corner, which was okay. I'm slowly starting to make positions back. I'm up into 8th. I started in 4th. If we can get to like 6th or 7th, I'd be ecstatic. And you know what? I'll take what I get if I can just stay competitive and not get DNF'd at the end of the race. That was another main point I wanted to make, was not get DNF'd. But as we come into the first corner, I brake way too late because I was trying to get real hot, and I go a little wide, which I was like, you know what? I'm going wide, but it's okay. And then for no reason, the guy behind me decides to murder me. Why? I don't know. Because murdering me was useless, because if he went on the inside, I would have been fine. And with my famous words, that ruined my race, because I couldn't catch up at that point. Because everybody passed me. And with me being off course, I just could not catch anybody. I'm just happy I didn't get a DNF. But we're going to look into this real quick. As you can see, yeah, I got 11th place, Lucas. Move this on, Lucas. Come on, buddy. But as you can see, as we move on, I do go into the replays, and we can look from his point of view. So he comes in real hot, a little bit squirrely, braking, but that didn't do anything, and he absolutely kills me. We're going to look at it one more time, because, to be honest, this is how I got my thumbnail. And yeah, I decided to do better thumbnails now instead of the crappy ones I had before. And you can see he did not care and just absolutely murdered me. Maybe it was because he was following my line and where I was braking, because he was trying to catch up. That could very, very much so be a viable option, which was like how I used to drive when I was really, really bad at this game. I'm still bad, but I'm not terrible anymore. The way it is as he was just following the way I was driving instead of driving at his own pace, and that's kind of what probably happened. He probably screwed up doing that. But like I said, anyways, we're gonna move on to the second race here. We're starting, I think, in 7th or 8th we started, but now we're in 8th, and there's a huge pack in front of us, and I'm gonna try to thread the needle in between the Canadian and American here, but I just did not have the real estate or the time to get past, so I did not even try going any further than that. But we do end up getting 7th. The Canadian goes way off course, and we're able to pass him coming down to the main, or I guess one of the main hairpins of the race, trying not to get murdered. And I have to pay attention to my radar, that if anyone comes in for a nice cheeky dive bomb, I don't get killed. But we're lucky here, and we do get a decent exit out of it, and we're getting close to the Zoix guy, or Zoix 777, which you gotta pay attention to him a little bit later, but we're not gonna worry about him too much right now. As we come into the second last corner, I always manage, for some dumb reason, to always hit the grass, and then for some reason I could not get an exit out of that corner properly. Either I did not go out far enough, or I just threw myself into the grass and it just screwed me. It screwed my lap up completely. But we're in 7th place. It's only the second lap as we're coming into the second lap. I mean, we have a lot of time. We're in 7th place. We have a lot of positions to be that we can make up, or just gain in general. But we're gonna move into we're gonna skip ahead to the halfway point of the second lap, and as you can see, the dive bomb and dive bombs. He comes in, absolutely takes me out on the back, spinning me out for the most part, and I give him a little bit of a nudge, not because I meant to, but just for the fact that he was right beside me, and I had to catch myself, maybe hit him, and I get an SR down because of something like that. But we're gonna do a little bit of a little dive bomb on him. He gives me absolutely no room, which leads me to spinning and hitting him. But we're going to try to get back on the racing line. I'm not paying attention because I'm pissed off, and I hit this poor, I think, Brazilian guy? Brazilian or Canadian, I don't remember which one. Me hitting him, leading me onto the grass, spinning me out, and, like I said, ruining my race. I should put that on a t-shirt or something, because that's literally the quote of every episode, or that's like the main quote of most of my races is, I ruined my own race, or it ruined my race. It's not a good phrase to have, but we'll get over that. On to the third race. We're up into 5th place, or we're starting in 5th place this race. Chair, thank you very much. And the Canadian here gets real aggressive for some reason, not knowing that I'm right there, and tries cutting me off, and he dives into the pits there almost, and like almost dies, coming back in, almost hitting me, sticking on my inside. He was just very aggressive trying to hit me, and as he keeps pushing me more and more on the outside, I was getting a little nervous because I didn't want to get thrown on the wall, and he almost hits me again, almost throwing me to the wall again. He did not care about where I was, so I was getting a little bit timid, trying not to get hit, and I didn't want to hit anybody to get another SR down or a penalty at worst case, because if I get a penalty here, that's pretty much it. This track is so fast, and the straightaway is so important. If you get a penalty, you're kind of donezo. It's almost like Monza. If you get a penalty there, like there's almost no way of you really catching up and making good positions. Moving on, Brazilian here for some reason hit his hazard or his signal, which pissed me off and just kind of annoyed me, but whatever. We're going to try to stay a little bit defensive here, which kind of screwed me. I didn't brake enough, and it kind of throws me on the outside, and the Canadian on the inside takes it away from me, and we're moving into the final corner of the first lap finally. And I take the corner okay. I didn't take it too bad. I didn't hit the wall, I was hitting the walls quite a bit, especially in qualifying. I could not hit the walls because I was trying to hit the corner as hard as I could, but I just couldn't like maintain anything. Like the cars just wanted to slide. Maybe it's because I was going way too fast, and that's probably what it was. Just the simulators kind of screw with me just for the fact that like you really can't get a sense of speed in them. I know they like you can get like a really nice one for like $100,000, or I guess there's like nice ones, really nice ones for like 20 grand. I think there is like, but still I don't have the money for a simulator for $20,000. I'd rather throw $20,000 at my Supra and get like real like seat time instead of sitting in a basement with my controller. But anyways, yeah, that's just how I feel about simulators. They're fun to screw around with. They're good like for references and stuff, and they do give you somewhat of a feel of like braking zones and stuff like that, but the actual feel of the car, like handling, and you don't really feel any G-forces, even though cars like this probably only pull maybe a G if they're lucky in a corner. There can't be much, unless you put like really good tires, and I probably don't get much. Maybe the braking gives you a little bit more because these probably have crazy brakes on them, but that's about it. I can't see them pulling anything more than 1.3 at max. Even like the best time attack guys at like CSCS and Global Time Attack really only hit like 2.5 Gs if they're lucky on the brakes anyway. So that's besides the point. But as we come into the third lap of the race, we're in fourth place. We moved up a position, and now we really just have to keep going and stay consistent to stay in this race, which is something I struggled very much with this car. It wasn't like the other ones. The GT3 cars, depending on the track, I can stay consistent all day long. And of course, with that Porsche on Button Willow or Big Willow, I was consistent like crazy with that car. That car was so easy to drive, but we're going to forget about that. And we're going to continue with this Datsun. I really could not stay consistent because it was very, very loose, and there was nothing I could do about it. And this guy dives in hard, and for some reason does not let me take the inside either, even though I'm right beside him, and he kills himself because of that. I don't get an SR down. I don't think I did anything wrong there, because we were right beside each other, and he did not give me the inside whatsoever, even though I was right there. Back into the hairpin, I brake a little bit too late, and I don't get a good exit, but we're still in fourth place. The guy in fifth is still right up us, right behind us. I'm worried about him trying to kill us. That kind of unintentionally rhymed, I think, but whatever. Coming to the final corner, I do get onto the grass a little bit because I stay on the curb a little bit too much, but that does not too bad. Also, a lot of the guys nailed all the pylons, and right there, you can see with the pylons being broken or gone, I couldn't find out what my braking zone was, and turning in made me nail the wall, making me lose so much momentum, and for some reason, I hit the wall again here, which cripples my momentum even more, and I stay in fifth, but I'm able to fight off the guy behind me. But on the last lap, we're coming into the hairpin for the final time for this race and the episode. I went a little bit too offensive. I don't know why I did that. The guy in 12th place absolutely died, and I thought maybe I let him pass me and I can get him on the corner here, but as you can see, that did not work out very well because I came way too slow. I should have went a little bit wider, and that was pretty much it. Couldn't do anything about it, especially in the corner here, the final corner. I was not confident enough, and he takes the corner almost perfectly. There was no way, especially coming down the straight here. That was pretty much the end of the race there. And what I learned from this car is that I'm good with like proper setup race cars, but anything that is like a street trim, which this is 100% a street trim car, even though it has a cage and big tires, this is absolutely a street trim car. I just can't drive it. So that's something I really need to improve on. So I'm going to try to actually go on some free time and just take different cars around random tracks just to get seat time. I'm not going to record it. I'm just going to practice just so I can get into the rhythms with different cars and not just like the McLaren or the Mercedes or the Audis and the GT3s and the GT4 cars, because they're so much easier to drive. Well, not easier, but I just feel more comfortable in them. It's either between the GT4 cars and stuff like that, or like the really, really slow, like the Fit or the Micras. I don't know if there's any Micras in this game, but like the Micra cars, like those are so much fun to drive because they're so simple. But these cars that have big power and little grip are really hard to drive. But like I said, I'm going to keep practicing, and with that being said, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time.